roll.
I'm pressed. I'm going live. I'm doing it.
Ta-da!
Whoa!
Jalapeno pineapple margarita.
What the fuck? You just went and mixed the drink?
Mix my shit beforehand so I could just pour it in. I made a pitcher for myself.
I just opened a bottle.
That's what it is. It's making a picture of margaritas before the live stream, so you don't have to start making margaritas.
That's mom skills right there.
We are live. It is working.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Thank you for joining our Thursday night live stream and live happy hour live stream reading of Donald J. Trump, an environmental hero. Boo, boo.
It's not a novel, right?
This is allegedly nonfiction.
It's Cli-Fi.
Yeah, basically.
I want to thank you guys all for humoring me in this idea. I appreciate it very much. I bought this book over a year ago. For some reason, I think Trump had tweeted about it, like, look at this book. I'm an environmental hero. And I was like, that's going to be good. And
Back up. You bought that with money?
I used
Your money?
my own money.
Not even the stimulus money.
I did not. This was before they even had stimulus.
How much did it cost?
I don't think it cost more than $15.
Are you gonna write it off on your taxes?
I'm just kidding.
I did. I definitely did write it off on my taxes. This was a business expense for sure.
That's research.
So
Yes.
Okay. All right. You know, your money.
Did pay for this. I'm sorry.
Did you buy it used at least, or did you get a new copy?
It was a new copy because I don't think any used copies existed at the time. Like, I don't think anyone's reselling this.
Yeah. Nobody. Imagine going back to the bookstore with that book and admitting that you bought it in the first place and then trying to resell it with a straight face.
This
I
makes
had
me want to like look up the press release that I got. I got a press release about this book when it came out. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But carry on.
Oh yeah, right.
Did anyone else know about this book before this?
Only vaguely, but I think I tried to block it from my brain just because I didn't want to have to think about this horrible thing that exists, and now yet here we are.
It's been on my bookshelf. So someone asked in the live chat, he wrote this? No, I don't think Donald Trump has.
Right.
He didn't. He did not. It's like a fan of his trying to prove that actually.
You know what's fun? There are no pictures of Donald Trump typing.
That's true. I bet he can type. He's kind of like of that generation where he was like, why would I type? I have a secretary.
Oh,
Right?
fuck that shit. James Baldwin is way older than him.
That's true. That's true.
There's no reason for him to not type. Only time you ever see him write is with that big ass pen in the executive office. No one's ever seen the man type. Anyway, Emily, you're doing a thing. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, it's fine. My favorite conspiracy about Donald Trump is that he can't see anything. Is that he's blind and refuses to wear glasses. But anyway.
And I don't want to be ableist, but my favorite thing is that he can't read.
I like that one as well. Yeah.
Or here.
And I think it's not because he has a learning disability. I think it's just because he never bothered to learn.
He didn't need to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this book was written by a guy named Edward Russo. It was published before Trump became president. And it was self-published, I should add. This is not nobody published this. It is written in a very funny font.
Let's see.
Comic Sans.
I
Wingdings. It's just all wingdings.
Here's an example of one of my favorite chapters. Here's the font.
Wow, that's weird.
I actually like it.
The title.
I like it.
Mary, did you ghostwrite this book? Are you Edward Russo?
Oh, I have better shit to do. But I like the font.
Why is the first letter bolded of each of those words. It's weird.
It's called a drop cap, Amy.
I don't like it.
So this says
Wow.
chapter 12, goats are the solution.
Goats? Sure.
I don't disagree.
Are they? Is he talking about like fire, like forest management goats?
Well, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait. I wasn't planning on starting here, but I'm just going to read the first paragraph of this chapter 12, Goats Are the Solution, just to give you a little taste.
Okay.
It starts with, any discussion regarding Donald's commitment to the environment would be incomplete without discussing Trump's goats. Yes, goats. That's not a misprint. It's not a metaphor or an analogy either.
Get to the fucking point. Tell us about the goats.
I mean the four-legged animals. Goat.
Point taken.
I don't mean the greatest of all time. No.
What the fuck? Who edited this? It's a lot of preamble. I want to know about the goddamn goats.
Does he actually own goats?
You might think that goats would not be a serious subject to include in this book.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Parentheses, which is a chronicle of my relationship with Donald Trump. But not only serious, the Wall Street Journal published an article about them.
Oh, wow.
I'm not actually going to go into this chapter because it's...
No. I'm hooked. Tell me
Now I want to know about the
goats.
goats. Does Donald Trump own goats?
I should begin, I don't know, we haven't gotten there yet. I should begin with the observation that all plant life is not appropriate.
Oh, no, that's not where you should begin. You should begin with the goat snakes.
It has nothing to do with goats.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get into the never-ending debate over the impact of native versus invasive species. I will only note that not all plant life is appropriate everywhere. I will define weed as any life that is not appropriate at a specific location. So,
What kind of weed are we talking here, sir?
Give a shit about the weed. Get to the goat.
I don't know. This paragraph says nothing about goats. I'm so sorry.
Fuck this paragraph. Next paragraph.
Yeah, this was self-edited in addition to self-published, huh? Like,
Who published this? Who's the publisher? If you say
Self-published.
Simon is Schuster,
Picture of a goat.
Oh,
that's
there it is.
that's not conclusive proof of goat ownership. Whose goat is that?
It says Ed Russo, the goat. The goat is apparently named after this guy.
or is the goat
Wait a second.
that
Wait.
guy?
Was this book written by a goat?
Fun fact, Brian and I are always threatening to buy our friend Billy Fleming a mini goat.
Oh,
Because
a
yes, that
pygmy goat?
exists.
I met Billy Fleming on the last live stream I did. He was pretty cool.
Don't you think he'd
Funny.
do really good with the mini goat? Can you see him holding a mini goat?
Yes,
I can see him.
absolutely
I
see
can
it.
totally see him getting down with a mini goat.
Yeah,
I mean-
totally.
Billy, if you're watching this,
Yeah, everybody go
It's
follow
happening.
Billy Fleming.
It is
JOO Billy on Twitter.com. Go follow him. He's gonna kill me.
oh Lord. All right.
So, okay, I'm just going to summarize this because I just quickly skimmed it. Basically, there's like 7 paragraphs about what invasive species are. And then he goes on to say that there was poison ivy at Donald Trump's golf club. And then, so he bought 6 goats to eat the poison ivy because goats like to eat poison ivy.
Is it good for them?
It worked out great. The goats were happy.
It's
This-
fine. Goats will eat anything. They're
Yeah.
fine with it.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make it good. Cats eat plastic. Then you wind up in the emergency room, as I've learned.
It's true.
Anyway, this chapter is part of the proof that Donald Trump is an environmental hero.
Yes.
Because
I
he
mean,
found
these-
a natural what?
Because he bought goats and not a weed whacker. Obviously.
These goats still don't have names.
Think about those emissions saved on that golf course and all those, wow, goats.
Okay, I want to hear how this book starts.
Definitely.
That's
Okay.
how it started.
No.
I just want to say, I think I haven't finished this chapter, but I do think that the goat died at the end.
There was one goat. It was just one goat.
There were 6 goats, but I think the one that was named after Ed Russo died. Inconclusive.
So do they have an actual personal relationship, or is this guy is this like fan fiction?
No, this is real. So this guy, okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to read the back of the book, which gives like a little summary, and that will give you like an idea of what we're dealing with here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Back of the book starts with a quote. The quote is, "It's all about clean air and clean water. Donald J. Trump."
Okay, this is familiar.
Is that a quote?
That's a quote from Donald J. Trump. It's all about clean air and clean water, baby.
Yeah, that's what I say all the time. If I put that in a feasibly
cleanest air, the cleanest water.
Oh, someone asked me Fish, but I don't know where he is. Fish. I don't know. He's
where is he?
Fishy.
Yeah.
Fish. Come here.
Why is the dog's name Fish?
Because Lara, my roommate, wanted a fish or wanted a dog earlier in her life, but she got a fish, and so she named it Dog. And then when she finally got a fish, and when she finally got a dog, she named it Fish.
I see. And when I was in college, you could only have a turtle or a fish as a pet. And so these folks got a cat and named it Turtlefish.
Oh,
Nice.
I know. Didn't work out.
They also follow the band Fish.
Probably.
Sounds like that.
They probably also had a unicycle. I went to Oberlin, people.
That's some Oberlin shit.
I know.
School, 100%. They're into fish. They had like a fish dog.
Did they also own a hacky sack and love the band Fish?
I don't know what the fuck hacky sack is, but I also I did not know Fish was a band. I found a shirt somewhere because somebody was giving it away, and I started wearing the shirt because I thought Fish were cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got associated with a lot of shit that I wasn't associated with.
And then people were like, "Oh,
yeah." Still don't really know what it means. All right, Amy.
Okay, we're ready.
We got fish. We got actual fish. The dog.
Minutes haven't even opened the freaking book.
He's so cute. Is he he looks like a little cattle dog?
Yeah. I think part Australian cattle dog, unsure.
Yeah, he looks like a healer.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Back of the book. Donald J. Trump's environmental policy advisor shares the secrets behind his detailed environmental practices and reveals a mission of conservation and protection of Earth's many endangered species and habitats.
Wow. It's his policy advisor?
Which policy advisor? Name names.
Is he just a bathroom attendant at one of his resorts, and he was like, "You want to be my policy advisor on environment?"
Yeah.
Sorry. No offense to bathroom attendants.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Edward Russo first met Donald Trump when his organization was developing a golf course. Oh. Edward, a passionate environmentalist, thought Trump would see him as an obstacle in the way of success. Instead, Trump listened to his concerns about the golf course's environmental impact and then actually hired him to fix the problem! !
What a guy.
This kicked off a decade-long collaboration between the two on environmental protection and conservation. Edward Russo has spent his career advocating for environmental policies. In his new home of Key West, Florida, Edward is on the board of directors for Reef Relief and the Florida Keys Community College Foundation. He's president of the Florida Keys Environmental Coalition and serves on the Monroe County Climate Change Advisory Committee. So
great.
I'm
glad that guy's on the case.
I just can't believe it.
I would just like to point out that this book has 3 out of 5 stars on Amazon.
Actually better than I would have expected, to be honest.
Whatever you want to do with that metric. Also, can we just get a close-up of the cover real quick, Emily?
Yeah.
Not cheesy at all.
No,
that's a serious book.
Very fucking believable.
Okay.
The love chat wants to bring back Baloo.
Oh, where's Baloo?
Oh,
He's so cute.
If anyone has any in the live chat, if anyone has any questions about the book, I'm monitoring. Feel free to.
I'm getting drunk already.
Oh, I started drunk. I thought we were starting drunk. Okay, start drunk.
All right, I'm gonna read the introduction.
Okay.
Good.
The book begins. Okay. I have never written a book before.
Yeah.
It shows.
I am unaware of any rules regulating book writing.
Oh.
Did he have a publisher?
No,
an
he
agent,
didn't.
an
He
editor?
did not.
Anybody?
No.
There are people
None of those things. He's
This is
websites to
self-published.
Google this shit on.
Listen. He wrote it in Word, then he saved it to PDF, and then he put it on Amazon.
I think he just read it into a transcriber and just took the transcript and was like, it's out there. Let's go.
Yeah.
I believe this work should be classified as nonfiction, since I intend to chronicle my last 15 years with Donald J. Trump. All the names mentioned are real names.
Ooh.
Not
Girl, this is fan fiction.
Does he have like a chapter where like him and Donald Trump like bone halfway through? Like what?
Are there pictures?
there are many pictures.
Right.
All the names mentioned are real names, not withheld to protect anyone. No one
Tell him, Edward.
has obligation to write this, and therefore I have no obligation to be biased about anything or anybody. Everything contained herein is based on documents and my experience.
Guys, this is after the goats.
This is before the goats.
This is after the goats.
This is the introduction.
Yeah, but
Yeah, for
in
the
his
goats.
life, it was post.
The goats were in the foreword as far as I care.
Some specific facts and technical data that I will present might seem to be exaggerations or simply unbelievable. I've received this type of response before. Consequently, I ask if there is something contained in this book that you feel is wrong or cannot be substantiated or simply unbelievable, please contact me directly. I will have my contact information at the end of this book.
What is his contact information?
I do have it at the end of the book. I'll just flip. The end of the book is one of my favorite parts, actually, the epilogue. The last line of this book is, please direct any inquiries for data and other facts referenced in this book to erusso7404@aol.com.
Holy shit, yes. What a fucking king.
By the way, if you have negative reviews for this event or any hot take episode, please direct them to brian.kahn@earther.com. That's brian.kahn@earther.com.
Yes.
Great web. Yeah, send me your hate. I love
Yeah.
it.
So 7407@aol.com.
That's not his fucking email address.
I love it.
That's not email address. I bet that's his like least favorite cousin's email address.
Okay, here's the last paragraph of the epilogue, and then we will have finished one chapter.
Okay.
If you have been associated with the Trump family or the Trump organization, you're used to hearing and speaking in superlatives. That should be expected by anyone who meets a family member or visits one of their hotels, golf resorts, or office building properties. One superlative I never dreamed would be attached to Donald J. Trump was environmental excellence. In time, I would realize I was completely wrong and would need to adjust my thinking.
Wow.
Moving.
I feel like we're gonna go on a journey here.
So I have read the first.
Not unlike a fish song, Mary.
I've never heard a fish song.
Could be 5 minutes, could be 20 minutes. You don't know.
I actually, having gone to a liberal arts college as well, I actually really hate fish, but I promised my roommate that in my college, I was like, I will go. He loved fish. I was like, I will go to the last concert with you. And then they played their last show and we went. And I hate to say this, but it was actually really good.
Fuck you, Brian.
What the fuck does that have to do with
just
the book,
so
Brian?
whatever.
Are you
I mean,
trying to tell
anything's
me
good
you
when you're
think
on
this
drugs.
book is going to be good?
I mean, if we were all on mushrooms, maybe. We're not.
There's
we're
not enough. There's not enough liquor, not enough wine, not enough sedatives in this world.
Someone asked when was this book written, and I'm not exactly sure because this doesn't. Oh,
2016.
It was written in your fucking dreams. That's when it was written.
2016. Interesting.
Did it come out before?
Is there an index in this book? Because I would really like to know if this guy talked about Donald Trump and his love affair with Scotland.
Yes. So there is an index. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 climate change chapters. One is called Climate Change, and one is called Global Warming versus Global Respect for the Environment.
Oh my God.
Those are the 2 choices I always make. What is it? Global respect for the environment. I think we make that the new style guide on Earther. We're going to call it that from now on.
Global respect for the environment?
Yeah.
Is that your new tag? That's your new tagline.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're pivoting the site to global respect for the environment.
Oh man.
So I in the interest of time and
sorry, just as an editor, that really fucking bothers me because the globe is the environment. Yes. So like you could also say environmental respect for the globe, or global respect, or environmental respect. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it means nothing.
Yes, correct.
So the entire first chapter is about John DeLorean.
Who the fuck is that?
The maker of the DeLorean.
Of the DeLorean?
Is that like the Mandalorian?
Not the Mandalorian.
How many DeLoreans?
The DeLorean is the car that they turn into a time machine in Back to the Future. That's my one cultural reference for that car.
I think it's all anyone knows about the car. Did they ever actually sell like DeLoreans at all? Like I feel like it was just like, yeah, it's in this cool movie, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Making me so mad.
I don't know. I do not know. All right. Okay.
It's about how like John DeLorean's property got all messed up because John DeLorean was like, charged with a bunch of crimes, and then Donald Trump like acquired it and turned it into a horse. And Ed Russo, the guy who wrote the book, was like, I want to protect the environment of this property. And so what happens is that Trump is like trying to acquire the golf course, and Ed Russo is like trying to protect the environment of the property. And then Ed Russo gets invited to Donald Trump's office for a meeting, and he's like, okay, like I'm gonna go to the office for a meeting to Trump Tower. And so that's where I'm gonna start off here. All right, so it says,
wow,
does it show up with goats?
No goats. So Ashley and Jim, unimportant, picked me up at Newark International Airport late one night, and we immediately drove to Trump Tower for a meeting at Donald's personal penthouse. The entire building was amazing. And when the doors of the elevator opened, Donald J. Trump was right there to greet us. I had read up on what to expect, studying the art of the deal, and was ready for a direct confrontation. That did not occur. All he wanted to do...
Donald Trump's a little bitch. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Important context, Amy. Thank you for having...
Sorry.
No, I think it's good. I think we need to acknowledge the reality here.
That's why I invited you guys here for fact checking.
Yeah.
Real-time fact checking. All he wanted to do was show us his apartment, the kitchen appliances, the clocks, the lamps, and the view of Central Park. It was all very nice. Not what I was there for. It went on forever, and it drove me nuts. Finally, we all sat down. The spatial dynamics were fascinating. Donald had no assistant or boardroom table. There was no boardroom. He sat on the couch, and I sat on the chair next to the couch, and Ashley and Jim sat on the 2 chairs on the far side of the right of the couch.
Genuine question. What is a spatial dynamic?
I don't know. I'm not. Not an interior.
That might be a real
makeup
thing.
of like
I really
this,
don't know.
the stuff in the room and where everybody was sitting and like,
You mean the decor?
The layout.
Yeah.
I see. Spatial dynamics. This man did not have an editor.
I'm
Actually,
so
this guy's
excited to tell you guys what is about to happen.
Oh my god. Okay.
Something is about to happen that I don't think that you're going to expect.
The goats show up.
I can't wait.
The conversation immediately turned brutal. I tried to educate him on the importance of the local environment, the threatened and endangered species, the water quality issues, and the responsibility to the neighbors. Woody Johnson, owner of the Jets, lived across the street. Betty Merck Pharmaceuticals, lived alongside. The Brady family, financiers, owned property to the rear, and Mountain Forbes lived around the corner. Even with Donald's billions, he wasn't the richest kid on the block.
Please tell me this was written in stanzas.
Just regular paragraph. Donald wanted none of it. He threatened to rip up his proposed offer for the land. He was furious. He wanted what he wanted, and the golf course ordinance that I helped write was standing in his way. I didn't care. The law was the law. At the crescendo of one of his rants, in walked the future Mrs. Trump, Melania Naus. Miss Naus was beautiful in a stunning white dress, tall and sophisticated.
No underwear. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was in parentheses. It was in invisible ink, but that was 100% part of this recollection for this man.
She walked in from the left. Between the couch where Donald was sitting and the chair where I sat. After all my reading and research about Donald, I knew this wasn't a random visit. This was the challenge. This was what I needed to be ready for, and I was. I had read his books and knew to be prepared for something like this, something to throw off my game and give him the advantage. However, I also enjoyed sophistication. I was a former elected official and was always, and I mean always, professional. I had no fear.
Back up. What was his elected office?
I don't know.
Who knows? Fucking
Googling.
Can someone go look in the comments, please? Tell us what this man's former elected office was.
Is it Edward Russo or Eric Russo?
Edward. Something is about to happen.
Okay.
Of course it is.
I had no fear. I immediately stood up and reached out in response to her offer to shake my hand, looked her straight in the eyes, and said, "It's very nice to meet you."
Wow.
Perfect tone, perfect inflection. It was euphoric. I won.
Where is the perfect tone to say nice to me? Holy shit, have I been doing this wrong my entire life?
Good job with that.
By the way, my roommates, my friend are over there, and they're just fucking laughing.
Did you guys know that there's an Eddie Russo who was a NASCAR driver or race car driver? He died in 2012.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay.
Okay, perfect tone, perfect inflection. It was euphoric. I won. I was ready to run the victory lap. Done and done. However, as I was pulling my hand away from her, something dreadful happened.
I came in my pants.
Westervelt. Do you know how many people believe that's her real middle name?
It's true. A lot.
Okay. However, God damn it, Amy. As I was pulling my hand away from her, something dreadful happened. I knew it was wrong. I knew everyone was looking at me to make a mistake, especially Donald, who was standing half a step to my right. I felt hypnotized, out of control, and then it happened. The worst of the worst.
Shit, Amy, you were right.
My eyes looked down at things they should never have looked at.
Did the man have a copy editor? How many typos are you skipping the fuck over to get to this?
And I couldn't help it. I reached out a hand and went honk, honk.
He does not have a Wikipedia page. I cannot figure out what elected office he ever held.
I'm crying.
I'm literally crying right now.
Okay. My eyes looked down at things they never should have looked at. You know the time immediately after you do something really stupid when you think there's a chance that no one noticed?
No, I've never fucking been there.
Oh, I've never looked at someone's titties. Oops. There was none of that. No time to explain myself. Donald lunged as if we had been fencing for hours and he'd finally seen the opening he was waiting for. I was open for the thrust of his foil.
Wow. Wow. Fucking wow. I would also just like to draw folks' attention to this by Brian Kahn. Trump has a book written by a Trump advisor about how Trump loves the environment, actually. Brian, have you read this book?
Busted, Brian!
No, I just wrote.
Read the book.
Oh, no, I would never read this book.
Because I'm Googling this dude and I can't find anything about him.
No, I only acknowledged it was only because I think Trump announced that he had the book. Like he was like, oh, like
dude, and also this guy sent out a bunch of press releases to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is the first time I've ever
did.
I've never heard anything from this book, and I'm really sad that I am now. It's just like,
wow. Okay, wait. So the thrust of his foil.
I was open for the thrust of his foil, which, by the way, that doesn't make any sense. However, all he said was, quote, I guess now we know Russo's not gay.
That's actually, this is the most factual thing I think I could hear from this
that
book.
really tracks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now we know.
Hey, now we know.
He's got good taste. He likes what he likes.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised, and maybe you got it up. I feel like it wouldn't surprise me if there was a slur involved, to be honest. I mean, if it's Trump. Wow.
I have so many questions.
Now, before any of my LGBTQ brothers and sisters set their hair on fire, this was 15 years ago.
You should say siblings, though.
He should have said siblings, yeah. Yeah, that was not that, yeah. Hondo pay.
Yeah. This was 15 years ago, before I knew about things like
He wrote it in 2016. Get your shit together.
Back then, it was cool to look at boobs anytime, any place. You know, you could look at boobs wherever you went, and it was fun.
Stop talking like that.
Right? There's boobs. They're in front of you. What are you gonna do?
You maybe honk a little. Hey.
Hey, what?
This is. I'm really learning a lot about Trump's environmentalism. I don't know about you.
I'm not learning anything.
Breast milk play a part somewhere?
This was 15 years ago. Certain words did not have the connotation that they have today. I will be digging deeper into the concepts of
gay just meant gay for a long time.
I will be digging deeper into the concepts of bigotry, racism, misogyny, and xenophobia later in this book. For now, Donald was able to make a joke and break the ice to create a better atmosphere for him and get beyond the difficult discussion we were there to have. Everyone laughed.
I bet Melania was laughing her ass off. I mean, her tits off.
Yeah. Anyway, so, there's like more in here. So there's like more that's is a lot. And then so basically they have a conversation, and then later he's like Ed Russo's in a bar, and he gets a phone call, and he says hello to Trump. It's Trump, and he goes, "Let me apologize for my behavior at our meeting." Trump returned with, "No, there's nothing to apologize for. You're obviously very passionate about the things you believe in, and that's good." And I said, "No, I'm not apologizing for giving you a hard time about the environment. I actually enjoyed that. I'm apologizing for my eyes going where they never should have gone."
A true gentleman, Edward Russo.
Yeah.
No, I meant when I was staring at your wife's tits. Oh, that.
And then Trump offered him a job, and then the chapter ends.
And then Trump offered him a job. Wow, amazing.
So that's anyway.
You know, I always knew that Melania was the key to his success.
What are the goats' names?
Melania, Ed Russo,
He
Ivanka,
Barron.
You think Tiffany gets a goat named after her? I mean, I feel like she's
Probably. Fuck it. Depends on how many goats there are.
6, right? Or 7?
6 goats.
So I think we'll now take a break in this live stream to let everyone know that
it got hot in here.
Amy, calm down.
just a short break from the reading.
Probably. Fuck it. Depends on how many goats there are.
Right? Or 7?
6 goats.
Uh-oh.
So I think we'll now take a break in this live stream.
I can hear it.
My own voice coming across the screen. I just wanted to take a quick break to note that there are a lot of people in Texas who still don't have any power because of the winter storm that officials didn't prepare for because nobody wanted to prepare their infrastructure for extreme weather. And that's terrible, but we have a lot of resources if you want to help that you can donate to. I'm going to post a link in the live chat to a bunch of different local organizations that you can donate to and help if you want to help people in Texas who are out of power and water or supplies in general from the winter storm. It's fun to read about Donald Trump's ineptitude, but there
are consequences.
Yeah, there are. It's fun to laugh about it, but actually this idiocy
that is real. Is what you're coming down to.
It's real. Yeah.
The book there's one book in existence about Donald Trump being good at the environment, and half of it is about Melania's titties and goats.
That's true.
I think that's notable.
That sums it up.
How are you guys enjoying the book so far?
I really want to know the goats' names.
Okay, all right. You're waiting for chapter 12, man.
I'm just gonna Google.
Donald Trump's goats' names. I'm sure it will turn up a lot of interesting.
It might be gross, Mary. It might be really gross.
Yeah.
Might be.
Content
Also,
warning.
I can't spell for shit. Donald Trump goats.
Apparently, there's a Wall Street Journal article about it.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of time, because I know we're trying to keep this to like an hour, and we obviously can't. We barely got through a chapter and a half here, and this is each chapter is like about 8 paragraphs. Mary, did you want to cut in?
I just found an article titled "The Golfer in Chief is also the Goatherd in Chief, saving him tens of thousands."
Amazing.
Oh, he did have goats, yeah.
Apparently. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good. It's good to know that this really is nonfiction and that his environmental advisor really.
No, girl, this is fan fiction like a motherfucker.
I don't know. The horny part was pretty real. I feel like that was.
Yeah.
That fits with the tracks.
These goats don't have names. They don't have names. They're just the goats.
So, basically, the next couple of chapters, I'm just gonna do a little summary. I have read this book. I just need to say multiple times.
Okay.
Pretty easy to read. And it and a lot of it. So, a lot of the first part is just like basically about how this guy met Trump and started working for him and started like working on his golf courses and helping him like preserve the environment of his golf courses and like follow local environmental regulations, obviously because like Trump didn't want to like violate environmental regulations and get his golf course shut down.
Right.
So this dude Ed Russo is like saying all this stuff like, you know, and he didn't even, you know, he said yes to following all the laws. And in the process, we helped save a number of species, including he said that his Bedminster golf course created a habitat for the local grassland birds, including this bird, which I would like to show you, called the bobolink.
Oh,
Pretty cute. A little bit.
Love the bobolink. Yeah.
I want you to take a look at this bird and tell me what you think this bird looks like.
I think it looks like Donald Trump.
It's
Donald
Trump
J.
as
Trump,
a
environmental
bird.
hero.
Bird.
Yeah. So did he get the bird's highlights done? Does Donald Trump have a Does Donald Trump have a tattoo of this bird as a tramp stamp?
I mean, I really hope so.
Me too. You can see it. You can see it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Okay.
He's like too much of a pussy to get a tattoo, I feel like.
Also, like, think about how wrinkled that he is, too. That's gonna be a gross tattoo.
Could you imagine being the person having to put that tattoo on?
No. No.
As somebody who watches a lot of Ink Master, I gotta say that I think the Donald Trump skin would really be a nightmare to tattoo.
Thin and creepy.
It's just a little too, you know, there's like a lot of sun damage, you know, a lot of like, you know, older skin just generally is like, you know, he's like almost 80 years old. Not to be ageist, but just it's just a fact.
It's not like he's taking care of himself, you know.
Yeah.
The man eats McDonald's.
Yeah.
For every meal.
Yeah, but somehow he's like fucking made of iron. I don't know.
Well, it's because, like, you know, his theory is that his thing is like the body has a finite amount of energy, and so
right.
you
So he doesn't expend too much energy in a day.
That's why he's alive.
I think you could run a long time on hate. I really do.
Well,
so
actually, Trump's ideology that he runs on, and you can see it in his climate change thinking, his coronavirus thinking. This was his father's like almost pathological ideology, was that you cannot think negative thoughts. Everything is fine, everything is good all of the time. Well, and you'll hear him say this all the time. Why can't you think more positively? Why can't you think more positively? Climate change isn't happening because everything's fine. Like coronavirus isn't happening because everything's fine. Everything's good. It's the power of positive thinking. It's very
There's a lot of negative shit going on in
manifest
that head of his, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some negative shit happening up here. Also, I am so glad he's not president anymore, but also I'm very unnerved by the fact that I don't know what the fuck he's up to.
Yeah.
Like it's weirding me out that like
quiet.
I don't know. Well, he's on Twitter, like his deplatformed, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I can't really imagine him getting into like signal chats or anything like that either. I really can't.
But like I saw today, like Steve Scalise, I think, like went to go meet with him, and Kevin McCarthy did. Like all these Republican like leadership people are like, he's still like. There's a poll like yesterday that was like he is like the top choice for like 2024 for Republican presidents, which is fucking fucking crazy. I mean, it's
not gonna live that goddamn long.
We can only.
Someone just said before this is over, can someone eulogize Rush Limbaugh? I already did that today.
I nominate Amy.
Ugh.
I nominate Amy. Have you met him?
No, I never met him. I wish.
You
That
gotta
would
think about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No. No, but like I do have a lot of really great clips of him talking about like icebergs and like he had this weird little like skit that he used to do all the time about environmentalists where he would like put on this weird voice and like pretend to be like an environmentalist worried about some endangered species. He was such a like weird dude. Just truly,
what did the environmentalist voice sound like?
Like a high-pitched womany voice done by like a middle-aged white guy. Yeah, it was like, I'm so worried about the blah, blah, blah. But it was Rush Limbaugh doing it. I'll find the tape. I need to find the tape.
One of the things I read about him today, someone said they were like, it sucks that he was actually like pretty funny and he just wasted all of his humor on like racism, climate denial, and xenophobia. It's like it could
misogyny. He really hated women, like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like such a waste, you know? It's like, man, if you had just picked a better subject, it could have been cool.
Something, yeah. I mean, Rush Limbaugh was like specifically mentioned in some of the strategy documents of like the early climate denier people in the like late 80s, early 90s as like his audience is the people who are most susceptible to this like line of thinking.
Honestly, so today I published like an interview with a dude that wrote a biography, like looking at some of Rush Limbaugh stuff, and he had a chapter about his climate denial, and he really he went through like years and years of this dude's climate denial, and the one thing that it didn't have a lot of was like, and when I asked him about it, and he had like some stuff to say but not like too much, was about like the connection to the overall like climate denial industry, you know, like the fossil fuel industry's strategy. And he was he like took his talking points from them because he had to talk for 3 hours every day and they would just send him shit and he would he would make it his own. And I was like, ooh, I wish I knew more about that, but I also have to get this piece out.
Yeah. They would send him stuff that was like, you know, talk about how like they really loved to like anything that disproved that the ice caps were melting. They were obsessed with like, actually this Antarctic expedition had trouble getting through the ice because the ice was so thick and blah blah blah.
Well, notice how they shut the fuck up lately.
Yeah, very into the like you can't have climate change if it's cold, you know, thing. Or whatever, global warming at the time.
They used to call it global warming. Why don't they do that anymore? What was it? Global respect for the environment?
Global respect for the environment. That's right.
Okay. I want to read, because this is a live stream of 4 climate people.
Yes.
By the way, just want to quickly congratulate our 2 award-winning climate.
Yeah, we have 2 of you on. Congratulations.
We're all 4 award-winning people. I feel uncomfortable saying I'm an award-winning journalist because I'm not a journalist.
You are a writer. You know, I know you like to say like, you know, essayist and writer and stuff, but like what you're doing is writing and chronicling about current events that are happening and you're doing it truthfully. So it is a form of journalism. It's you know.
Is it? Because I just write about how I feel. I don't do any like.
No, it's a form of journalism. I took a class on the type of journalism you do in college. It was called literature of journalism.
Ah, there you go.
The name?
Yeah, well, the class was called Literature of Journalism, and it was about journalism that presents itself in a way that's non-traditional. It's more literary in nature.
Oh.
Yeah. So like
shit, son.
I learned in
That's
journalism
you.
is what you do.
That's you.
I didn't know I had a name.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was just bitching.
It's a subgenre.
I really did.
Bitching.
I really did.
Shit.
I might fuck around and order takeout now.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, Fishy. Hey, no, Fishy.
All right, Derek, are you going to read the climate chapter now?
I would like to read
Actually, before you do, can we just put the
to this group of award-winning climate change journalists.
Yeah. Who's ordering Thai food, maybe?
And I would like to point out that the climate change chapter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs.
Nice.
Oh, you really went into it.
The book about how Donald Trump is an environmental hero has a chapter about climate change, and it is 8 paragraphs. Just want to repeat that and let it sit. Okay. All right.
Oh, Lord.
After years of fighting for important environmental causes and experiencing the consequences, including being shot at, I obviously take the environment very seriously. I consider myself a practical environmentalist, though my adversaries might consider some of my ideas radical. The point is that I have come across people who trivialize the importance of environmental protection. You know, the people who put out a green flag on Earth Day or plant a tree on Arbor Day, but do nothing to better the environment we all share for the rest of the year. Every day should be Earth Day for everyone. If people were educated and informed about the condition of the environment and the work that needs to be done, our environment would be better off. I actually agree with him on that point. For instance, there are 3 nuclear power facilities in the United States that have serious malfunctions, but they don't get any national media coverage. There is one state with more than 20,000 toxic waste sites that receives no media attention at any level. The Spill Comp Fund is out of money. The Super Fund is broke. The laws have been changed so that polluters of those sites have no further liability.
I mean,
Are you doing a British accent there?
No, that's just.
It's true though. He's got me now.
He's got you right now, right? Okay, so in Florida, I'm so sorry, I'm about to botch this. The Caloosahatchee Indian and St. Lucie rivers are a mess. The Florida Bay is becoming hypersaline. The citizens of Flint, Michigan finally received some news coverage, but only after they had been ingesting lead and other toxins for over a year.
True.
Why is it that the only environmental issue that gets any attention is climate change?
Oh boy.
Oh wow, took a real fucking 180 there.
That was the 4th paragraph.
Too much climate coverage.
And that's the lesson. No one is denying that the climate changes.
Oh, Edward.
Brought across the room.
Listen, the climate changes in the same way that Melania's boobs shift from side to side.
I know, because I'm looking at both constantly.
Boobs go in, boobs go out. Who can explain it? It's just, it's just science.
I'm not drunk enough.
No one is denying that the climate changes, and no one can deny that the sea level.
There are literally people denying that the climate changes. That literally happens.
Factual.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure Donald Trump denied that the climate
True.
change.
Yes. He claimed that the idea that the climate changes was a hoax invented by the Chinese, but carry on.
Well, I think he's saying no one denies the climate changes, that climate denier thing that's the climate's changed for 40,000 years.
Sometimes
Always
it's cold weather, sometimes it's warm. Ice ages. Henry VIII.
Sunspots. That's a thing. It's always changing.
Need like one of those trust balls.
Okay. No one's denying that the
climate changes, and no one is denying that the sea level rises, which he would have to because he lives in Key West. So
right. Right.
This is typical scientific reality. The media, however, that's y'all.
That's you.
Not me. Is treating the issue as a political litmus test. They pigeonhole respondents into two categories: science deniers and everyone else.
I would like the record to point out that I am not a published author. I would like the record to show that I have not gotten a book deal, but this motherfucker did. Again, who published this?
This guy self-published. You could have
self-published.
You could do it.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I'm publishing a book tomorrow.
It's all about the goats tomorrow. Just put that shit out there.
I think you should. Yes.
I would take every journal entry, every diary thing that I wrote in the second fucking grade, throw that shit to a PDF and publish it on Amazon.com, and y'all will pay me $17.97 for it. Yes. I better order that shit too. Sorry. Go ahead, Emily.
Someone asked, what are you all drinking? And I'm drinking something that my friend got me from a tiki bar. It has rum and mezcal in it.
Oh. You're still on that same drink, girl? I'm like 3 ahead of you.
Okay, someone's like finished the chapter. We got
This shit is fucking awesome. People want to drink. It's nixta. It's nixtamalized corn liquor. So it's like what you get in like tortillas, like that kind of corn, but in liquor form. It's fucking great.
Good for you.
I like
that's very fancy.
I like the sound of that.
Actually,
right. I'm gonna have to go relieve my babysitter in a minute.
Okay, we'll keep going. You'll hop back. Okay. Pigeonhole respondents into two categories: science deniers and everyone else. My frustration is that important environmental work is being ignored because of the distraction caused by the media coverage of climate change.
Fucking A. The fucking media with the fucking climate change.
Like if the media didn't talk about climate change so much, we would focus on other environmental issues. It's like, dude, we would focus on every environmental issue. Fish, come on.
Dude, we're trying to have a serious conversation here.
Fish is very barky lately. Anyway, okay. If you were to ask environmentally educated people about the 3 most important things we could do today to slow global warming or sea level rise, they would have no clue. Some might suggest reducing the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Some might. What would others say, though? What might others say? I'd be very curious to know.
What? Oh, that's an interesting. You want to reduce the but what practical action would they promote that would clearly have an impact on the Earth's climate?
I mean, that's a fair question, really. Like, what could possibly stop this from happening? What is the single biggest source of carbon emissions?
Possibly could we?
I mean, you know, I think the answer is probably like more golf courses with goats, really.
It's probably like more fossil fuels, or like more cars. I don't know. It's just
cool.
Puzzle. It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
So, okay. But what practical action would they promote that would clearly have an impact on the Earth's climate? So, when people like Donald challenge the media for politicizing the environment, it reflects the nonsense surrounding the discussion about climate change. If people really want to do something constructive, start by cleaning up landfills in your town.
Clean up a landfill, Emily. How does that fucking make sense?
Look, I'm just
how much carbon does a landfill produce?
Take the garbage and clean it up. Go put it somewhere else.
Clean up garbage.
You wash it.
You put it in the washing machine. Yeah, you put it in the washing machine.
Put it in the washer.
Oh, is everybody just washing garbage these days? And I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, you got to go permanent press on that shit. You can't Can't do hot wash.
You know, just for this, I'm gonna go see if Shell has tweeted today.
If people really want to do something constructive, start by cleaning up landfills in your town, create important wildlife habitats, and promote water quality initiatives. You know, be more like Donald.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, I didn't fucking write that. I didn't make that up.
It's kind of amazing when you think about the things that Donald Trump did in office that specifically did all of the opposite of those things, in addition to all the other terrible shit.
I wonder what the fuck this dude thinks about what Donald did when he was in office, because he wrote this in 2016 before Trump became president. So it's like, so what did Trump do?
We should have that AOL email and find out. I want to know.
Let's email him. By the way, everybody, it's if you want to, it's Russo, RUSSO 7407 at AOL.com.
Guarantee you that ain't his fucking email.
Probably not anymore.
Yo, do you think that that's his birthday too? I bet you it's like he's born like 1974. Like,
I mean, you're the journalist. You figure
no, that's
it out.
probably he's too old for that.
Mary, we fucking established that. All right.
I'm not a journalist. I'm just a writer.
Okay. You know, be more like Donald, because that is precisely what he does. Because if we concentrate on cleaning the air and water, the result will be reduced CO2 emissions.
That's really how it works. That's what I hear. When you have fresh...
I hate everything.
He's like, if you just do your part, climate change will be solved.
Yeah. I mean, if you just clean the water in your neighborhood.
Cleaned up, if you just went to the landfill and cleaned all the trash, everything would be fine.
Yeah, I think these are all pretty really
saying like it's your fucking fault. Okay, we've got 2 more paragraphs left in this chapter.
Wow.
That's it? A chapter? Is this a chapter?
Amy, you've
missed out.
You missed out. Edward solved all of our fucking problems.
Edward said
all we gotta do.
If we just clean up all the landfills in our town and conserve wildlife if everyone just did their part, basically like cleaning up the air and water in their town, then climate change would be solved.
Stop expecting the government to solve it for you, people.
Yes.
Oh, fuck you, Amy.
Okay, that is the point that Donald has been making. While others promote meetings and seminars to develop visioning for some amorphous future response, Donald has been concentrating on clean air and clean water by stabilizing riverbanks, planting...
And rolling back the Clean Air Act.
Rolling back the clean... No, planting millions of dollars of trees.
I've heard about money trees. I heard it's real.
Amazing.
He's planting millions of dollars of trees and establishing and enhancing important habitats for old people in Florida. He didn't say the last part. That was me. I said that. I wonder how much effort Donald's media critics are making to clean up the environment.
Oh,
fuck.
Got me, Donald.
Damn. There's no coming back from that. Just absolutely dunked on.
I mean, I do have a phone, so.
Oh my God.
Hey,
this came from Mexico.
Is your phone super cracked?
It's just very dirty.
Oh, okay. I thought it was really cracked.
And it has like many messages. Oh, my phone's blowing up right now, basically.
Last paragraph of the climate.
Okay, we can do it.
Last paragraph, and we will have gotten through the climate change.
Okay.
It is easy and convenient to discuss broad environmental concepts.
Convenient.
That result in nothing. It is hard to study and improve specific environmentally sensitive areas that will be appreciated by generations of wildlife. So, the media characterizes Donald as a climate change denier. The But they seem to be too lazy or prejudiced to investigate the true environmental achievements of this.
He's in the media. You're writing a book. You're in the media.
I mean, it's kind of amazing to like hear a guy that like got hired to work for Donald Trump to like clean up his golf course. You're like, golf courses, like the fucking fairways, that shit's like the Sahara Desert for fucking wildlife. Like, dude, you are so full of fucking shit. I mean, I know.
Piece in the book that like
two things I want you to know. One, Melania's boobs are glorious. Two, the edge of a golf course is there's plenty of room for birds.
Look, the edges of the golf course are where we are gonna solve climate change.
Also, goats.
Also good.
Yeah. The 6 goats will do it too.
Wow.
Does it please tell me that the last sentence of this?
I feel like this guy
book
feels so bad for looking at Trump's wife's boobs that he spent like the next like 15 years just being like, whatever you want me to say.
I feel like the last sentence of this book should be Donald Trump is the GOAT.
Donald Trump is the GOAT.
I mean, that would be amazing.
Honestly, though, Amy, I think you have a good point because it's like, you know, everyone's like, Donald Trump only ran for president, like, because Obama made fun of him that one time. And it's like, Ed Russo only wrote this book because he accidentally looked at his boobs. It's like,
just pettiness. In a bad way.
Everything is dumber than you think it is all the time. Yes. Like nothing. You're like, well, there must have been a reason that was real that this thing happened.
No, it can be just like a really stupid human reason.
Never underestimate the power of petty.
I think this guy actually wrote the book so he could flex on the world by being like, I saw Melania's boobs in real life
and I wrote a book about it.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, this is actually, I mean, you know, I think this is his thing. Like he's just coming out as being like, yeah, like I like Melania's boobs and I'll just kill this environmental shit too.
By the way, buy my book tomorrow morning.
Your book? Yourself?
Straight to PDF. Straight to PDF.
Just transcribe this whole thing and put it in a PDF. It'll be like 40 pages and.
Right. And we'll donate that shit to Texas.
Yes. I'm going to put the links to mutual aid funds, etc. in the for Texas in the live chat one more time, and then we're running up on our hard cutoff here. So I thought maybe we could just do one more chapter, which is the one that was called
chapter
versus global respect for the environment.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wait, before we get to that, can I just say that, like, also, I think it's important for us to be serious, acknowledge that, like, the people that are like this shithead, Donald Trump, like, these are the people that have created the catastrophe in, like, Texas. Like, it's like this for-profit bullshit system to, like, make fossil fuels cheap, do the bare minimum to, like, make your systems resilient, and then, like, be like, oh, yeah, broke. Sorry, everyone that's fucking suffering. Like, I just think, like, it's like, we can definitely joke about this shit, and I think we should bag these people 100%, but also, like, deadly serious. Like these people are fucking shitheads.
They really are. They really are.
And then
fuck Ted Cruz today.
I just like,
yeah. Tomorrow and forever. Fuck Ted Cruz. How does he get elected? Literally, no one likes him. His daughters don't like him.
I was like, Ted Cruz could not be less likable, and then now this, and somehow he's still gonna get elected. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Fuck Ted Cruz.
Seriously, fuck Ted Cruz.
It's because like the concepts, honestly, it's like because the concepts in this book of like, it's really just like your individual responsibility to go, you know, clean up the landfill in your town and preserve the water in your local lake.
Recycle and avert your eyes from Melania's titties.
But that have just been so deeply embedded into so much of American culture that like, you know, they hear Cruz saying shit like that and they're just like, yeah, that's what I was taught since I was a small child and that's what I believe, and like pull your private up by your bootstraps. Like
I actually feel like what's happening in Texas is such a good example of why that's bullshit. Because it's like no individual can fix the fucking grid, you know. It's like I don't have any control over whether natural gas companies like, you know, cold proof their pipes or whatever, right? So like
there was this great example of this like local I forget exactly what type of official he was, but it was like a local Texas official who posted on his Facebook. He eventually deleted it, but he was just like, I'm tired of people complaining about like the local government not providing you like water and electricity during this time. You know, like if you don't have water and you don't have electricity, like you find a way to deal with it. Like he literally was just like, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you,
yeah.
He was basically like chiding people for like almost asking for government handouts for like utilities that they had paid for. You know, it was like,
yeah,
it was just like the absolute absurdity of this argument. It's like, no, we've paid for these basic services, and it's your job to ensure that they're prepared.
Right.
And like that's the thing with like Rick, like even like fucking Rick Perry, right? Who's like the federal energy secretary at one point. Like he was like, you know, we should be like willing to suffer blackouts if it means we don't have more federal oversight of our grid. And it's just like, dude, like who are you shilling for? Like, let's be real. Like you're just it blows my mind that like these people have somehow risen to power and that it's like they've managed to maintain a grip on it because like shit is completely unhinged and like people are literally dying.
Like, honestly, I feel like there's a substantial percentage of Americans who confuse entitlement and selfishness with freedom. And there's and honestly, like, not to be all like, you know, fucking senior year of high school history teacher here, but I really feel like it's like partly because this is the only country that was founded during the Enlightenment, and like all that bullshit is like swirling around in people's heads like, oh, well, actually, how many, like, we don't want to give up too many individual rights to be part of society. But like at this point, you're basically like, you're asking for giving up 0 individual rights. And like, but you want everything to work for you in this way that is unrealistic. It doesn't work that way. I don't know. We have a broken social contract, guys. And
individualism is a sickness unto death. It's like it's a serious problem.
It's really, it's like, it's gross. And also I really think too that like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm down the rabbit hole. This is happening. I really think that like, America was the first and only country founded during the Enlightenment, right? Social contract theory comes about during the Enlightenment. That whole theory is like, what do individuals give up to be part of a society that protects them physically and provides them with some amount of like shared safety, right? And like at that same time, America had to come up with a version of equality that allowed for slavery and the genocide of Native Americans, you know? And so it's like, oh, well, like no wonder it was fucking warped from the beginning. And this idea of like endless individual entitlement, you know, portrayed as freedom it's never going to go anywhere. Like of course it's going to end here where people are dying and some dickwad is like, figure it out, bitches. You know, like I just,
Can I admit that I don't think everybody knows what the Enlightenment is, because I don't really know what the Enlightenment is.
A period of time during right, you know, leading up to the founding of America, there was a period of time where a lot of philosophers in England and Europe were saying basically that like, I mean, and they were arguing against aristocracy. They were like, you know, every individual person has like unique traits, and just because you're born into one class doesn't mean that you can't like have things to offer, you know, various other peoples. And they were all about like science and truth and knowledge, and like everyone should have a public life. Although of course that meant all landowning white males should have a public life and like the right to contribute to laws and like societal norms and like, you know, public thought and all of these things. And one of the big things that came out of that was social contract theory, which is like, how do societies come together, well, individuals give up certain liberties to be part of a society that offers them a certain amount of protection. And like,
right.
that is 100% the foundation of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, all these things that are very important to how Americans view democracy. But it's like, from the jump, they had to like somehow make all these logical loops that like included enslaving people and murdering people.
Right.
It's like
the
an individual with
big lie, right? It was that they had to lie to themselves about it and be like, well, the reason that it works is because the Browns, the brown people, they actually, their brains aren't like our brains, like they're actually dumber and worse. And that's why it's okay.
Yeah, they had to create different classes of people, different races of people, and attribute like different morality to different groups of people.
About that. And honestly, it's when you think about the like logic behind the individualism thing, it's very idealistic, and it's almost kind of lovely that it could work, right?
Yes, totally.
Once you acknowledge the reality of climate change and what climate change is, it falls. It doesn't work if there's climate change, and that's why everyone who loves that theory denies climate change, because it's too cognitive dissonance to have to accept that climate change is real, and then also really want a society where personal responsibility rules all. If you accept two things, it's inevitable. Humans cannot live with that type of cognitive dissonance in their head, so they choose climate change must not be real.
It must not be real, right? But they also, I feel like there's a huge like, I don't know. I feel like I've been obsessed with like reading stuff that weirdo libertarians write recently, because I'm like, how do they think? What is going on here? And like a big part of it is ignoring a huge part of like what the philosophers they supposedly idolize were saying, which was like that, okay, sure, personal, like private property is good as like a reward for hard work and talent, but like there's a need to protect the commons within that, and that every person who has like private property like should only have as much as they can actually like make productive, and that they should pay for like the impact that has on the public of taking that out of the public resources. Like there's this very rich tradition of the commons and like the public good and all of this stuff from the, English and European philosophers that these guys supposedly admire so much, that just gets like left out of the equation for convenience, like I just, And they're like the most fucking like earnest and naive people. It's like, oh yeah, no, like we don't have to have the government taking care of anything because humans will just take care of each other. Okay, sure. Like, that's adorable. Anyway, welcome to Enlightenment 101.
No, I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
I know.
So glad.
I also like to begin with hand motions too, to like guide us. You're like, no, you're entering the Enlightenment.
Yeah.
Enlightenment, yes.
That's how you hook them.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. On the time, I've decided to skip the environment chapter.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I took us off the rails.
You did.
I blame tequila.
We got 10 minutes, and I was like trying to think of like what's the one
epilogue.
Well, so there's the chapter right before the epilogue, and then the epilogue, and the chapter right before the epilogue is only 3 paragraphs, or actually it's only 2 paragraphs. And then
get real loose with the word chapter.
2-paragraph chapter. I love it.
2-paragraph chapter is the second to last chapter. It's called "What Are We to Make of This?"
Okay.
Okay. Donald Trump is an environmental hero who provides jobs for tens and thousands of hard-working people. He has tried to give back to society, and now he is running for president of the United States. I have personally observed, as he was called a racist, a misogynist, and worse, I have known Donald for over 15 years. My family, who is white, knows his family. I know Donald, and I can call him a friend. During all these years, I have never heard him once utter a racial epithet or tell an ethnic joke.
Wow.
It's an ethnic joke.
How many people can say that?
I can say that. I can fucking say that. Most people can fucking say that.
Sorry, Fish.
I 1000% to you promise you that Edward Russo makes ethnic jokes.
How many people can say that?
On a reg.
Never.
On a fucking reg.
Tell an ethnic
How
joke.
many people can say they've never had friends and family say the N-word constantly? I mean,
Wow.
you know?
White people got problems.
He's close. All the clubs that he owns and operates have diverse memberships. I was gonna say, like, allow Black people. Like, that's like pretty much what that's.
Wow. Wow.
Not many private clubs can make that claim.
Is that true?
In fact,
It might be.
at Trump Doral, you can sit for hours in a packed locker room and never hear English spoken.
Wow. I wonder where his eyes are in that packed locker room.
The accusations of misogyny are as baseless as the accusations of racism. Several of the people who run his businesses are women.
Have vaginas.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Take
Yeah,
that.
and you know,
Yeah.
I've never met a fucked up woman before
Me either.
in my entire goddamn life.
All women are good.
Shout out to Amy
Not
Cooper.
because they are women, but because they have excellent skills.
Honk,
Oh,
honk.
I've
Sorry.
heard ladies can do cool things. I'm glad to know it's true. Wow.
If you wonder whether Donald Trump is a misogynist, go ask Lily Armini, who runs Palos Verdes. Ask Sarah Malone, who runs Aberdeen, Scotland, or Carrie Woodward, who runs Donald Trump's winery in Virginia, or Heidi Bursky, who ran Trump Colt's Neck, or go right ahead. Talk to Ivanka Trump. But a word of advice, if you're ever notified that you have a meeting with Ivanka in the morning,
This is not going to be another horny anecdote, is it?
I would.
Don't wear white pants.
Guys, stop. If you're ever notified that you have a meeting with Ivanka in the morning, I would strongly suggest that you schedule an all-nighter to learn everything possible about the topic before you go in. You'll need it. End of chapter.
Chapter. That is a very loose interpretation of the word chapter.
Literally a list of women that he employed and then his daughter.
This guy is like the binders full of women.
Misogynist now.
I can't tell you how much I hate everything right now.
Wow. That is amazing.
My friend who's here just said this is the worst episode of the Muppets I've ever seen. Actually, and that line was actually the end of the book. The next thing is the 3-paragraph epilogue. And I think that's perfect timing because we said hard cut off at 8:30 and it's 8:26. So I'll just quickly read the epilogue to you guys, and thank you so much for humoring this. I'm very glad we did it.
Very.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Really,
This doesn't have to be the last time.
it doesn't have to. There are other chapters.
I think you should go for goat face, Mary.
Oh shit! Is there a good?
No, isn't this a bat?
How did you do that?
Is it a bat?
I went to filters. I was looking for the cat filter, but now I'm a bat. Or am I a pig?
You're like a pig bat.
Pig
You're
bat.
like a pig bat. Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
Very low key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, epilogue. Let's fucking do this.
Brian went for lollipops. Okay.
We got it.
Those are cute.
Yeah.
You know, that not to offend my LGBTQ brothers. Okay. Donald Trump is
Just
not.
don't.
Sorry. Donald Trump is not your normal billionaire corporate leader.
You don't fucking say.
Okay.
I don't think he's a billionaire. He does not have a gaggle of handlers and assistants that scrub and vet every bit of information prior to submission to the CEO of the Trump organization.
Trying to figure out if I can like bat my ears.
I honestly don't know how many companies he owns or how many projects are underway.
Wait, are you reading or are you like thinking?
No, I'm reading.
Because I feel like that's very Googleable.
Yeah. You know, I'm just reading.
All right.
I honestly don't know how many company he owns or how many projects are underway. However, he has the uncanny and unnerving ability to know what I am doing at all times.
Jesus Christ. You look at Donald Trump's wife's boobs once and like you're
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Wow, just because of that one
surveillance at all points.
Like, I fucking see you, buddy.
He understands, encourages, and approves every environmental task I am given. This does not mean that he doesn't delegate. He makes quick decisions and gives subordinates enormous freedom and power to achieve specific goals. He expects results, accountability, and speed, but he demands honesty above all else. Any inference that Donald is insulated or disconnected from working men and women is a myth. This is where he gets his strength. He knows what is going on, not by talking to the person with the clipboard in his hand. He finds out the crucial information from the person who is holding the hammer.
Isn't he holding the hammer?
Yeah, who's holding the hammer?
That is why when it comes to the environment, you will not hear him espouse any grandiose platitudes. For Donald Trump, it is all about clean air and clean water. Please direct any inquiries for data and other facts referenced in this book to erusso7404@aol.com and a book.
Say that again.
Wow, what a mic drop.
Say my email address again.
I just want to be very clear to people that Donald Trump did, in fact, roll back both the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act.
Yeah, but how else do you get clean air and clean water if not by taking personal responsibility and getting a golf course?
Yeah, just stop pissing in the water and then it'll be fine.
No, the trick is you boil your bootstraps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boil those.
It's both.
All right, guys.
Well,
8:30, we did it.
We made it.
Anything but Northern Lights. Look at this.
Wow. Look at that clean air and clean water you have, Amy. Wow.
For now.
Enlightenment. The
I'm
enlightenment.
very jealous of these filters. I don't know how to do it. But that's okay.
You get there.
I'll get there one time, maybe next time.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say thanks to everybody that joined us for our live stream. Thank you, you guys, for Mary, Amy, and Brian for humoring me. I hope that this was worth your time.
This is fun.
Yeah. No, this was fun. If you have any sort of negative feedback, please send it to brian.kahn@earther.com. That's brian.kahn@earther.com. Right.
Very important place to send hate mail.
Brian loves haters. Yes.
Yeah.
Brian needs more haters.
I do. I mean, I truly do. And so please send me your hate.
We'll read it.
I will. I might even write back. I do write back to the hate.
Really?
Oh yeah, I just got a great email actually for some guy. Like, he was an economist in Midland, Texas, for oil and gas companies. He sent me this like really snarky, shitty email after I wrote a piece yesterday about carbon dioxide removal. And I read his email. I was like, I'm gonna write back to this shit, and I did. And it felt really nice to be like, hey man, just be cool.
That's like broing down now.
I don't know. I felt like I tried to bro down, and I was like, hey man, maybe we get a beer when I can travel again and be cool. And like, he didn't write back. So it's kind of honest.
Did you tell him that you hope
Awkward.
I tried. I know.
I'm sorry, what?
All right. Well, I posted the links to all the Texas Mutual Aid funds one more time in the live chat room. And this was really fun, and I do miss you guys, and I hope that we can hang out in person soon. It's been way too long. I think that like sometimes on Twitter people think that like we're all just internet people who don't know each other, but we actually do know each other.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about the climate reporting community, I think we've all always said, is that like most of us like know each other and really like each other and want
pretty small and pretty friendly. Yeah.
It's real. It's real shit. Just like climate change. And miss you guys, and I appreciate you for coming on this, and appreciate everyone who's watching. And I don't know.
Ted Cruz.
Fuck Ted Cruz.
Fuck Ted Cruz. Drink to that. Can we drink to that one time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So fuck Ted Cruz. Cheers.
Mm-hmm. I bet Ted Cruz totally checked out Melania's tits too, by the way. Definitely.
Ruth Westervelt.
You know it happened.
All right, I'm ending the live stream.